2 minutes till broadcast. One minute till broadcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome into it. Hey, get ready for a post-Monday celebration, man. We got a lot to talk about today. It's going to be a fun one. We'll try and cram as much as we can into the program today. Jay Young will be on the show as well. He's part of the King Operating Corporation out of Texas. We'll talk about the energy and oil industry, also the rebuilding of the energy infrastructure in the nation of Venezuela. So that's coming up. Make sure to like it out, share it out, leave the comment, break the algorithm. Let's do this thing today for a post-Monday. Hang tight. Here we go.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin transmission.
Broadcasting from the heart of the nation, the next generation in conservative talk radio. This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Oh, yes, it is. What is up, my friends? Welcome into it. It is your post-Monday celebration of the Voice of Reason, the greatest day of the entire week. We are just cranking right on through, trying to carpe diem all over the place. We got lots to cover, lots to get to as usual, so welcome aboard. Broadcasting out of the heart of the nation in Wichita, Kansas on our flagship radio station, but we are all over the country. So many great radio affiliates doing our thing as usual.
Do it live!
Right here on the program. If you want more information on the show, you can go to our website, HooserReason.com, HOOSER Reason.com. Of course, our social media handle at Hooser Reason, and of course, our podcast, which you can find on any of your favorite podcasting sites just by typing in The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser. Programming note for you, we are making a lot of roadway down in the great city of San Antonio, Texas. What is up, my friends? So we are on the great station KLUP, 930 The Answer, which is great down there. We are also broadcasting live on 930 The Answer TV on their YouTube channel. And also now we were airing on Freedom 210, the internet radio station down there at 8 p.m. We are now live down there on Freedom 210 on the internet radio station. So what is up, San Antonio? Killing it, baby. Welcome aboard. That's awesome. Excited to have you join us. That means if we get more stations that are live during the daytime program, we might just take phone calls at some point, which would be really kind of neat. All right, bottom of the hour, we have Jay Young on the show. He is the founder and CEO of the King Operating Corporation. He'll be joining us. We're going to talk about the energy market. Not sure if you're aware or not, the majority of states nationwide now have an average gas price of below $3 a gallon.
Winning.
And I think that's pretty good for the economy, especially kicking off 2026. Also, we're going to talk about the expansion of drilling of natural gas and oil in the nation and rebuilding of infrastructure down in Venezuela. What could that look like with operations moving down into Venezuela and the Trump administration announcing that they will be selling all of their oil to the United States moving forward, which means we just are able to replenish our reserves. We're able to sell it to OPEC and do what we need to do. So big wins for us all across the board. Can we do that one more time? One more time. There we go. One more time. I'm totally all right with that. So we'll have that conversation coming up in just a little bit. But that being said, there's plenty to get to. And I want you to be aware from now on, now that we are in 2026, I want you to be aware of every statement, every bill, every conversation, every grandstanding that every politician does from here on out is for a political purpose, is for campaign season, is for midterm elections of 2026. That's where we're at now, and it's especially true for Democrats. And what is the ongoing trend, the habit that they do every time that they go into election season? Every Democrat, regardless of how radical that they are, they move to the center. And that's where we go to an election update, or I guess a campaign update.
Election update.
Boom. And we're going to talk about a couple of these radicals on the other side of the aisle that are now trying to play middle of the road, trying to sound commonsensical. Does it work a lot? Probably. Probably not, but at the same time, it makes them feel good. And they try to appeal to the broader base, which makes me realize that they understand where the broader base is in the country. They just refuse to actually pander to them. They pander to the radical fringe that yells really, really loud, and then election season comes, they're like, we're part of the average American. And you got Chuck Schumer out there trying to put the slice of cheese on the raw burger patty for 4th of July. I'm just like you grilling. You got Kamala Harris out there drinking beer on the late night TV shows. They really work hard to try and relate to the average American during campaign season. The rest of the time, they're all radical, and they always just appeal to the crazy fringe. I want to start with Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, that is under investigation right now in the great state of Minnesota, where she's trying to downplay some of this and turn the tables on the narrative. What do I mean by that? The fraud that we're starting to see coming out of Minnesota, with more of it, by the way, happening pretty dramatically. The bombshells keep dropping left and right now. She's now asking the question, kind of like the whole Hillary Clinton, at what point does it really matter? But she's doing it in the quote-unquote fiscally conservative sense. Yeah, I know. Hold on. This is this is what she had to say.
I'm so exhausted in trying to ask what any of this, information has led to you finding any criminals that you have indicted that explains why you are wasting so much of our taxpayer resources and also terrorizing our communities in the amount of federal law enforcement agents that you have in the streets of our city and our state. There needs to be some sort of justification.
Justification. Why are you terrorizing the people in our streets now that we have 1,000 more ICE agents moving their way up to Minneapolis and doing raids, essentially, according to Kristi Noem, potentially even going door to door? Because if you're going to put up as much of a wall and fight against us as much as possible, we're going to make it extremely unpleasant for you. And now the state's trying to sue for the arresting and the rounding up of illegal criminal aliens in the state of Minnesota and the fraudsters that are up there in Minneapolis, and saying, we're done with this, we're not going to deal. So you try to make it more difficult on yourself. That's really all it is, being more difficult on yourself. And now her twisting around of the pretzel as the progressive who's a socialist, who wants universal basic income, who wants universal health care, who wants universal regulatory power for the federal government over the American people, is now all of a sudden asking the question, what's the financial purpose of all this? You're wasting money, I don't know. How do you justify that kind of question? Doesn't make any sense. I know, it's really crazy, right?
I'm special!
So that's one of the campaign updates of 2026. Ilhan Omar now all of a sudden fiscally responsible and financially responsible about where taxpayer money's going at the federal level. The second one comes from the state of California. Governor Gavin Newsom now doing an interview where who did he sit down with? He sat down with Politico yesterday and did an interview talking about a proposal that's in the state legislature in California right now during their session of the 2026 legislative session, saying with Democrats, repeat, Democrats that are proposing a wealth tax in the state that's going to go after the millionaires and billionaires, right? Bernie Sanders, right?
It is totally absurd.
I know, totally absurd, but that's what they're trying to propose. That's what Democrats like to do. If you're a millionaire and billionaire, then you're evil. In fact, Zoran Mamdani, the new face of the Democrat Party, thinks that you shouldn't even be allowed to be a billionaire. But yet, here we are. The political statement from Governor Gavin Newsom, looking to run for president in 2028, looking to keep California a blue state in 2026 for the midterms, looking to try and gain as much political power and doing it in the favor of wanting to widen his base of potential supporters by looking and appealing like a commonsensical kind of guy, has come out in opposition of the wealth tax in California.
Say what?
Bear with me here. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what the heck's going on out in California? According to Fox Business, they did the story that said during the interview and sit down with Politico, he said, quote, "This is my fear. It's just what I warned against, and it's happening," meaning that near 20 billionaires that are in the state of California have threatened to move out of the state if this wealth tax actually passes. And that's a lot of money, by the way, for billionaires. They're paying a lot of money. I know the Democrats don't think millionaires and billionaires pay any taxes. They pay a lot of taxes. Their businesses pay a lot of taxes. And if you end up getting rid of them, then you're going to have a really hard time funding all the crazy, wonderful social programs and the social experiment in the state of California. He goes on to say the evidence is in. The impacts are very real, not just substantive economic impacts in terms of the revenue, but the startups. The indirect impacts of people questioning long-term commitments, medium-term commitments. That's not what we need right now at a time of so much uncertainty. Quite the contrary. Now, this is a guy who's run that state into oblivion with so many ridiculous regulations, so many high taxes, that the average person, in order to buy a home in San Francisco, is like $2 million or something you have to have as a revenue in order to qualify to even own a home in San Francisco. You have environmental laws and regulations that are paying up to you-know-what. You have sanctuary city status and sanctuary state status that's trying to take care of social programs for illegal aliens coming across the border in Southern California. You have a lot of spending there, California. In fact, you're like the 5th largest economy in the world. And yet now, all of a sudden, during election season, coincidentally, you're all of a sudden worried about a wealth tax and driving businesses and millionaires and billionaires out of your state. Coincidence it's election time? No. That's right. That's right. No, it's not. So that is your what?
Election update.
Election update. I'm telling you, everything that they do now during legislative sessions, at state levels, in the congressional hearings, at the federal level, wait for the grandstanding, listen to what they have to say, because you know a lot of it's going to be a lot of bunk, and it's not going to be true, because they're trying to win over the American people and sound commonsensical. And right now, the fact that Ilhan Omar is now all of a concerned about fiscal responsibility, and Gavin Newsom all of a sudden saying it's a bad idea to put a wealth tax on. Come on, man. We're smarter than that. But you can try to win over anybody that you want to. That being said,
what's trending today?
That leads us to another issue that's going on right now at the federal level. They're wanting to distance themselves away from the Trump administration that's putting the crackdown and saying we've pretty much had enough, with a lot of money going out as well on multiple different fronts, because we are the conservatives that are more fiscally responsible than Democrats. And I say that in the terms of we're more fiscally responsible. We're not completely fiscally responsible, but at least more so than Democrats, where Donald Trump made an announcement today, traveling up to Detroit, Michigan, and talking to the American auto workers, and said this.
And also, we're freezing any and all welfare payments going to illegal immigrants that will start effective immediately. So when illegals come into California, Gavin Newsom, they come into California, and they send us bills for people coming in. We're not paying it. So we're working on that very strongly. Just don't pay it.
Yeah, we're just not going to pay it. So that's probably why Gavin Newsom's starting to hit the panic button on why billionaires are threatening to leave the state of California. Because if Trump ends up cutting off the social programs that are funding illegal aliens in their quote-unquote sanctuary state of California, encouraging individuals to come in illegally into the state of California, then that's a hefty price tag. A hefty price tag for social programs. And if there are illegal aliens on the social programs in California, Donald Trump's done. He's cutting it off. Now, here's the question. Will it actually be fulfilled? That will be the test of time. It will be challenged in court. We'll go to the Supreme Court, and then we'll see what happens there, because we still have yet to see the cutting off of the SNAP benefits, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, after the last cabinet meeting that was done in, was it November, I believe, the last cabinet meeting for the year of 2025? When Brooke Rollins, the Secretary for USDA, said that any state that has not turned over the enrollees of the USDA SNAP program, or food stamps, by the state to make sure that those those rolls do not have illegal aliens on them, or do not have people on that are not supposed to get those benefits, that you're not going to receive those benefits at all as a state. And I know for a fact that cutting off of the SNAP benefits has not yet happened, because Kansas, where I hail from, with our flagship station, has not turned over that data. Our Democrat governor has not given that data over to the USDA, and now our Republican Attorney General is suing our Democrat governor in order to release that information. But yet, the USDA has not acted upon that yet. So we'll see whether we actually not fund these social programs for those that are illegal on certain programs, especially in the state of California. But according to Donald Trump, it goes even further than that.
Additionally, starting February 1st, we're not making any payments to sanctuary cities or states having sanctuary cities because they do everything possible to protect criminals at the expense of American citizens, and it breeds fraud and crime and all of the other problems that come. So we're not making any payment to anybody that supports sanctuary cities.
Yeah, I know. Democrats are going to lose their mind over that one. So we're just cutting funding to states. Look, here's the thing. Here's the solution for you, because we presented the problem, at least for Democrats. For Republicans, we're like, it's about damn time. But for the Democrats, they're kind of losing their minds. Here's the easy solution to fix this. Abide by federal law. Recognize that the federal government has immigration ability over states, so you technically can't be a sanctuary city or a sanctuary state. Immigration is a federal matter, and if you really want to put up your wall and try and fight that, then use the idea of federalism and cut off the federal money coming into your state. Do it at a statewide level, and then the social programs are all yours to deal with however you want.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
When America builds, the world follows. Our energy powered the 20th century. We've set the standard for generations, and we never waited for permission. But now, we're being held back. Outdated rules, endless delays. Without permitting reform, Washington's red tape is slowing us down while other nations race ahead. It doesn't have to be this way. We can clear the way for energy that's affordable, reliable, and built right here. Because what's built here is felt here. Lower costs, more jobs, stronger communities. That's what permitting reform makes possible. Energy didn't just shape our country, it powered the American dream. And with our innovation, we can lead the 21st century. Congress has a choice. Build America's energy future or risk falling behind. Tell Congress, pass permitting reform now.
Miss any part of the show? Well, don't worry. Now's your chance to go find the podcast and listen to as much of the Voice of Reason as you'd like. As the show continues to grow all across the nation with great radio affiliates, we also continue to grow as one of the top conservative podcasts, ranked 5th on the MillionPodcast.com Best 50 Conservative Leadership Podcasts in the nation, and number 1 on FeedSpot.com's 30 Best Conservative Talk Shows in the country. The show continues to grow each and every day. Just find us on any of your favorite podcasting sites at The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser. Hey, did you know that you can have multiple different networks on one single smartphone? Well, with Patriot Mobile, you can. It's time for you to sign up for the Patriot Mobile primary phone plan with plans as low as $15 a month, where you can have 2 numbers and 2 networks on one single phone. And right now, if you sign up using the promo code REASON, you can get an entire month absolutely free. It's the Patriot Mobile One plan. 1 phone, 2 numbers, and 2 networks. And it's all at patriotmobile.com/reason. Again, patriotmobile.com, and use the promo code REASON.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? How did 2 guys in a cramped California garage reimagine the phone and put the power of the universe at our fingertips? At Americans for Prosperity, we believe greatness can happen anywhere. We just need freedom and the opportunity to make it real. But today, with a rigid system stifling progress, limiting creativity, and holding us back. That's why at AFP, we offer solutions that tackle the most critical challenges facing our country, so there's nothing standing in the way of America's next breakthrough. Because what we build today doesn't just shape the future, it defines it. How will you be defined? Take your first step today with Americans for Prosperity.
When you choose Patriot Mobile, you're not just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever. Every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Switch today and get 1 month of service absolutely free by going to patriotmobile.com/reason.
When reason meets radio. This is the voice of reason with Andy Hooser.
As many of you know, they came to terrorize, abduct, and deport Somali immigrants here in Minnesota. When they couldn't find any because majority of us are legal residents and citizens, they decided to terrorize our Latino immigrants.
There it is. All right. So Ilhan Omar, she almost tried to sound reasonable, and she's never reasonable, but she tried to sound reasonable by saying, oh, what's the financial justification? Now, of course, it's all bad. It's the Gestapo coming after. And while we couldn't find the illegal Somalis, we're just going to start rounding up the other brown people that are the Hispanics. That's the rhetoric, man. It's the racism. It's the Nazism. It's the fascism from the Trump administration. And what's going to happen?
We're all gonna die because of you!
Yeah, that's what they try to say all the time. Hey, I want to tell you about my friends over at Lean. I've been using Lean since the beginning of the year, and I'm so excited to talk about them. I've been taking it. It's a daily supplement that you take at the beginning of the day after breakfast every single day. It helps suppress your appetite. It boosts your metabolism. It gives you energy. And I've already lost about 3-4 pounds since the beginning of the year, which is, 2 weeks, week and a half? Pretty awesome. Lean. By the time the average person hits the age of 60 years old, they've lost and regained several hundred pounds. Doctors call it weight cycling, and a lot of Americans do it. When you lose 10 pounds or more, but then you put it back on and you gain some more back on top of that, it's really tough on your body and probably leaves you pretty frustrated. If you're going through your New Year's resolution right now, don't be in that. Bottom line, most people need help losing weight, and here's a great way to do it. It's with non-prescription Lean that was created by doctors. We can use an oral supplement. It's not an injection, and the science is really impressive. It maintains healthy blood sugar. It helps control your appetite and your cravings, and it helps by converting the fat in your body into energy and burns the fat, helps keeping off weight. If you want to lose weight meaningfully at a healthy pace and keep it off, add Lean to your diet and your exercise lifestyle. Do it right now and get 20% off when you use our promo code REASON at TakeLean.com. Again, go to TakeLean.com and use our promo code for the radio show, Reason. By the way, just before we went on the radio here, I got word that ICE agents have made their way officially to the city of Wichita, Kansas.
Say what?
Where I am based out of with our flagship station. I have not heard the confirmation about where or what their missions may or may not be. However, according to our Spanish station that is in the market, that's literally in the basement right below where I'm sitting right now, they said that they have gotten word from multiple individuals that 70 ICE agents have officially checked into a hotel not too far, about 10 minutes away from the radio studios here, and who knows what their operations may be. That being said, that is ICE on top of the 1,000 they're sending up to Minneapolis, on top of what was already there. We have ICE operations all over the country, and Kristi Noem openly saying, we're not dealing with this garbage anymore. We're going to get rid of the criminal, illegal aliens. And if you do not want us on the streets in your community, then local law enforcement, help us out, arrest the bad guys, turn them over to us, and then we'll deal with it, and we won't have to come into your streets. Now, Wichita, for those that don't know, have been a quasi kind of sort of sanctuary city. Not really. Law enforcement has said we're not a sanctuary city, but yet we don't have the jurisdiction to really go after illegal aliens, so we really can't do anything. As far as I'm aware, and I haven't talked to our sheriff in a while, but I've talked to our law enforcement in the past. As far as I'm aware, there are no super crazy cartel members, really bad criminals, drug traffickers, human traffickers that we know of, or at least that I'm aware of. Maybe they haven't relayed that information over to us. At the same time, we are kind of the hub coming up from Texas all the way up to Oklahoma and Kansas, Nebraska, where we're kind of the centralized point that disperses stuff across the rest of the nation. So if there is someone, it wouldn't surprise me if they'd be in this area. But what could we expect? I will keep you apprised on that. I can only imagine the protests that may or may not happen in the community once they start some of their activities in the community around here. But Ilhan Omar, others saying now this is a waste of time, a waste of finances, and that we're not going to find anything. We'll see. We'll find out until we start arresting bad guys, and then they're like, oh, gee, we didn't know they were there. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Interesting concept. When we come back, we'll talk energy. We'll shift gears a little bit with Jay Young right around the corner for your post-Monday celebration here on The Voice of Reason. Stay here.
This is The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Hey, it's Andy Hooser with The Voice of Reason. Fighting for conservative principles seems more difficult all the time. The progressive left finds new and creative ways to limit freedom, abuse power, and trample the Constitution each and every day. That's why we need the knowledge, resources, and common sense to push back. And that's where we can help. Head to our website at HooserReason.com. There you can find our latest blog discussing topical issues of the day. Let us know your thoughts on current events with different surveys and chat rooms. And keep track of what I might be doing or where I may be speaking. Plus, when you head to the website, you can always get great deals and different offers from all of our great radio partners. Finally, if you want more of the show, you can find our podcasts with all of our great episodes and your favorite guests. And make sure to check out the latest Voice of Reason infomercials and maybe some other special content. And it's all because of you being part of the Hoosier-holic family. Let's continue to fight for conservative common sense principles together by going to HooserReason.com. Why? Because it's kind of the reasonable thing to do.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? How did two guys in a cramped California garage reimagine the phone and put the power of the universe at our fingertips? At Americans for Prosperity, we believe greatness can happen anywhere. We just need freedom and the opportunity to make it real. But today, with a rigid system stifling progress, limiting creativity, and holding us back. That's why at AFP, we offer solutions that tackle the most critical challenges facing our country, so there's nothing standing in the way of America's next breakthrough. Because what we build today doesn't just shape the future, it defines it. How will you be defined? Take your first step today with Americans for Prosperity.
When you choose Patriot Mobile, you're not just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US-based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever, every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Switch today and get 1 month of service absolutely free by going to patriotmobile.com/reason.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? Our country's greatest breakthroughs were born from bold ideas and the ability to take one small step forward. At Americans for Prosperity, freedom and opportunity find their defenders. Because our country's next giant leap is just around the corner. Are you ready to step up?
Hey, the live show may be almost over today, but it doesn't have to be for you. As always, enjoy the Voice of Reason with our daily podcast by finding the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser on any of your favorite podcasting sites. Just find us, subscribe, have it automatically downloaded, and listen at your convenience whenever you want to bring some more reason into your day. And a lot of people are doing it. Also, you can always find the video of the show, along with articles, additional commentary, and maybe a few sarcastic remarks by following us on our social media. Stay up to date with everything going on with the show, including upcoming guests, breaking news stories, interesting articles, and maybe some memes. Help us in the ongoing battle with censorship and shadow banning from social media by following us on the social media at Hooser Reason on all of our social media sites. For all these social media links, podcast links, contact information, or just general information of the show, go to our website at HooserReason.com. There you can listen live every day, read our latest monthly blog, find our radio affiliate list, or even listen to our latest infomercials and special content. Plus, you can always reach out to the program by sending me a message on social media, emailing us at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com, or sending an email through our website at HooserReason.com. Whether it's content on the show, whether it's a guest that you've liked or disliked, or whether you want to disagree with me, and disagreement's always appreciated. While you're there, make sure to sign up for our monthly newsletter. Each month you'll get the latest update on the show, updates from the Hooser Media Network, and our latest blog discussing topical issues of the day. Finally, if you want to help support the show, become a member of our Patreon site and help us fight for the cause of truth, reason, and common sense every day, and get more of the same by becoming the ultimate Hoosierholic. Get additional interviews that sometimes we don't always get to air on the radio. Hear our special segments or even our infomercials before anyone else, and have a chance to chat with other great Hoosierholics from all over. By becoming a Patreon subscriber, you're not only helping the fight for conservative values, you're helping us get
Truth, reason, and common sense. This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
To all Iranian patriots, keep protesting, take over your institutions if possible, and save the name of the killers and the abusers that are abusing you. You're being very badly abused. If the numbers are right now, I hear 5 different sets of numbers. I hear numbers, look, 1 death is too much, but I hear much lower numbers, and then I hear much higher numbers. But I say save their names because they'll pay a very big price.
Yeah, so President Donald Trump speaking, by the way, earlier today with the American Auto Workers up in Detroit, Michigan, where he was covering multiple different issues. One of those, obviously, the protests in Iran that's ongoing. We don't know the numbers. They have cut off the internet. There's not a lot of communication that we can hear from them. Apparently, the Trump administration is working with Elon Musk to try and get Starlink out there, but you still have to have the receiver of Starlink in order to connect to it. So that's the difficult part. And I've heard at least numbers, again, they're very broad. We don't know, anywhere between 1,000 to 5,000 deaths of the military activating themselves and missiles and drones going after the people that are rising up, wanting to get rid of that regime. Could we see freedom in Iran again, or will we see a slaughter and a massacre of people that have risen up? Hopefully, we do not see the latter. All right.
What's trending today?
Speaking of, and that kind of relates to Iran, but what we're seeing in Venezuela, what we're seeing here in the United States with Russia, with their ongoing conflict with the Ukraine, is energy and oil prices. I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but we are seeing now in the majority of states, I believe 30, I want to say, 30, 32, 35, whatever it is, states now with average gas prices below $3 a gallon.
Say what?
I know. That's a big win for the Trump administration. And now that we've seen the announcement of the Trump admin as well, saying that the oil in Venezuela will be shipped over to the United States, and oil companies moving their way into Venezuela to upgrade that infrastructure to get it where it needs to be. Much of that infrastructure, by the way, stuff that we actually owned and we used back in the day before they kind of walked away from us. But to talk about some of that and more, really happy to have back on the show. Been too long since we've had him on. He is the president and CEO of the King Operating Corporation out of Texas, and really happy to have on here Mr. Jay Young. Jay, how are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on the show. What a crazy time that we're living in right now. First, let's talk about gas prices here in the United States. Record low prices. We're seeing the energy market get back on track, opening up ways to drill for oil, to frack for oil, for natural gas. It seems like the industry is almost getting back on track right now, isn't it?
Well, it's a cycle. I will say that. I mean, I'm fourth generation oil and gas guy. My great grandfather, my grandfather. I mean, so I've seen cycles before. We're going through a cycle right now, so now's a great time to drive as much as you can, fill up your lawnmower, do whatever you can, all your gas cans, do whatever you can. I don't feel like it's going to last forever. I don't think it's going to last past this summer. Coming into the summertime, I think it's going to really will change the blend, but we're also going to the demand will go up because people will start driving a lot in the summertime, and I think prices will go up. There's just not a lot of people. There's not a lot of new money drilling for oil and gas right now in the United States, and that has a direct impact on how much oil is going to be coming out of the ground by the summertime. And when we don't have it and we need it, that's when the price will go up.
Right.
So it is a time where it's good. We'll see it, but it's also something that we will see the price go back up. And companies just aren't drilling right now because they drilled wells when the price was $80 a barrel.
Right.
They drilled wells at $80 a barrel, meaning they're paying more to drill a well because it costs more to drill a well at $80 a barrel than it does at $60.
Sure.
You know, right now we're drilling 2 wells, and with both wells, we could drill those wells for $8 million a piece, but it may cost us $10 or $11 million at $80 a barrel because there's just more supply, more people drilling wells. There's more rigs in the yard right now than there were before, and if there's more people drilling, and the cost goes up, and if there's less, it's just like everything else. And there's as many vendors that are needed to drill for oil and gas. To drill an oil and gas well and to complete it and put it online, it takes as many vendors as it does to build a house.
Sure. That makes sense. That makes
sense.
sense.
That's why we're going to have a
Yeah, and that makes sense with the market ebbing and flowing. I mean, it's down right now. It's the wintertime. People aren't traveling as much. We did a whole bunch of oil drilling. We're replenishing everything. So there's obviously more supply in it, and that's why prices are going to go down. Yeah, it'll go up during the summertime, and prices will go back up. It'll make it worth you guys to actually drill again, and we'll just go through this whole cyclical thing. How much is the oil coming from Venezuela now going to impact that? Because the Trump administration now announcing that the oil that's being drilled in Venezuela will go primarily to the United States. We'll be buying that from them, help stabilize their economy a bit by pumping some money into them with the U.S. dollar. But with more oil, not only that what we're drilling here, but what we're going to be bringing in and importing from Venezuela, what do you think that's going to do to the markets now?
Yeah. Well, if it was a huge amount of oil and it was a difference maker. Now let's just go back. We produce 13 million barrels a day in the United States. We need 20.
Sure.
So we need 7 million barrels from other countries. That's just the way it is. But the oil, and we export oil because we can't refine it with our refineries here. We're limited by the amount of oil that we can produce here because of our refineries and being able to refine it into gasoline or plastics or asphalt or whatever. So they're only producing 1 million barrels of oil right now in Venezuela. They've been, their oil fields have been an incredible catastrophe. It's been a disaster over there. They have not done anything to invest back into drilling more wells over there in a lot of years. They have more reserves than we do. We have about 40 billion barrels of oil in reserves here. They have 300 billion, almost 10 times or, probably 8 times more oil in a smaller country than the United States. And we're producing 13 million. They're producing 1 million.
Sure.
It's kind of really different, but it takes a lot of infrastructure. We have 500 rigs here. We probably have 1,000 rigs. We have 1,000 rigs in the United States that can drill for oil and gas. They have probably 5 over there right now. That's only the rigs, but you have a lot of rigs. You got pipe, you got infrastructure, you got so many different things that you're going to need to get that oil out of the ground and in tanks and in tankers and then ship it over to the United States. So it's going to take time to do that. And if they spend $10 billion a year for 5 years, if they spend $10 billion a year for 5 years, that's about $50 billion. then their production will get up to about 3 million barrels a day.
Wow.
If they're producing that, that's going to help us. That's going to help us a lot with our need for that kind of oil. So it's not a bad plan. And Trump said, I got this 50 million barrels sitting somewhere too. I don't know where that is. There's
Right.
2-3 million barrels in tankers around, and I know that Trump, without a doubt, would come in. He would let you invest, a public company invest $10 billion in drilling for oil and gas in Venezuela, and he would allow you to get that check, because that's the problem.
Right.
When all these companies put all this infrastructure in, they're like, yeah, hey, this is great. We can come in here. We can drill for all these oil and gas. We can have all this money, and all of a sudden, when they look to get their check, they don't get paid.
Sure.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
They want to get paid. We want to get paid. Everybody wants to get paid. But I know without a shadow of a doubt in Texas, when I drill a well and I've got my checks coming to me on the 20th of every month, I know that check's coming to me. But in a foreign country with all the other factors, I don't know. I think Trump will handle it. But what about the next administration? That's what I'm kind of
that's the
concerned about.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important for us to continue on with an administration that's going to be friendly to this, because if we are going to invest all this money, these billions of dollars in the rebuilding this infrastructure, we got to make sure that we get that return on investment, especially for the companies that are actually going down there and doing it. We're talking with Jay Young. He's the King Operating Corporation. You can check them out. Real quickly, and we have to take a break in just a couple minutes here, but your thoughts on the effect this will have on Russia and China. I know they've had interest in Venezuela over the years as well. Right now, with the ongoing isolation Russia's going through with their conflict with Ukraine, they've relied on their oil industry, which we'll talk about OPEC and the global market when we come back after the break. But right now, their interests in Venezuela, what do you think their response is going to be when we just pretty much take over the oil fields in Venezuela?
Absolutely. Article today was talking about the same thing. It's just like, of course, China, Venezuela's supplying all of China, all their production that they have available is going to China. I think that and fentanyl. I don't know if it goes together in the same pot or whatever, or the same ship, but the fentanyl and oil goes to China. And they talked about OPEC today, saying, well, hey, you know what? If OPEC's not going to let them just take over and go, oh yeah, hey, here you go, and here is what you have to have in regards to the oil supply, and they're not going to let just somebody or some country just take over and take up their market share.
Yeah.
These countries, I mean, a million barrels a day is like $2 billion a month. That's a lot of money a year. And when you start talking about stealing or taking, that market share away from these other companies or countries, you take 1 million, 2 million barrels away from OPEC, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia or Russia. These other, they don't like that.
Yeah, they're going to get pretty upset.
They're going to fight hard.
That's
It's not going to be just an easy. I mean, Trump,
it's going to be a difficult transition. Yeah, he's got that one for sure. Yeah, Jay, hang on the line. We got to take a hard break here. I want to continue this and look at some of these other nations, how they may respond to this news moving forward. But we'll see. Could the U.S. dominate the oil and energy markets moving forward? Back after this here for The Voice of Reason.
This is The Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Big government is broken. Every year, politicians fail to pass a budget as the deficit continues to grow. Every month, unelected bureaucrats pile on rules no one voted for, strangling our economy. And every day, D.C.'s broken system gets in the way of the American dream. Washington isn't working, and the people pay the price. At Americans for Prosperity, we believe it's time to fix the system. Now, join the movement to make government work.
Oh, hey, sorry. I was just enjoying one of my snacks during the break. You know, it's hard to find good quality snacks without all the unhealthy additives, but I'm here to tell you that problem is over. It's time to enjoy J&S Smoked Snacks. Real cuts of beef, real wood smoke, and real flavor that's crafted in small batches to keep every bag fresh. And with numerous different flavors, you'll never get enough. This is not your average gas station jerky. It's J&S Smoked Snacks. Find them online at jssmokedsnacks.com and tell them I sent you.
When you choose Patriot Mobile, you're not just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US-based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever, every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
Switch today and get 1 month of service absolutely free by going to patriotmobile.com/reason.
What fuels the freedom to dream bigger? Our country's greatest breakthroughs were born from bold ideas and the ability to take one small step forward. At Americans for Prosperity, freedom and opportunity find their defenders. Because our country's next giant leap is just around the corner. Are you ready to step up?
Hey, the live show may be almost over today, but it doesn't have to be for you. As always, enjoy the Voice of Reason with our daily podcast by finding the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser on any of your favorite podcasting sites. Just find us, subscribe, have it automatically downloaded, and listen at your convenience whenever you want to bring some more reason into your day. And a lot of people are doing it. Also, you can always find the video of the show, along with articles, additional commentary, and maybe a few sarcastic remarks by following us on our social media. Stay up to date with everything going on with the show, including upcoming guests, breaking news stories, interesting articles, and maybe some memes. Help us in the ongoing battle with censorship and shadow banning from social media by following us on the social media at Hooser Reason on all of our social media sites. For all these social media links, podcast links, contact information, or just general information of the show, go to our website at HooserReason.com. There you can listen live every day, read our latest monthly blog, find our radio affiliate list, or even listen to our latest infomercials and special content. Plus, you can always reach out to the program by sending me a message on social media, emailing us at HooserMediaNetwork@gmail.com, or sending an email through our website at HooserReason.com. Whether it's content on the show, whether it's a guest that you've liked or disliked, or whether you want to disagree with me, and disagreement's always appreciated. While you're there, make sure to sign up for our monthly newsletter. Each month, you'll get the latest update on the show, updates from the Hooser Media Network, and our latest blog discussing topical issues of the day. Finally, if you want to help support the show, become a member of our Patreon site and help us fight for the cause of truth, reason, and common sense every day, and get more of the same by becoming the ultimate Hoosier-holic. Get additional interviews that sometimes we don't always get to air on the radio. Hear our special segments or even our infomercials before anyone else, and have a chance to chat with other great Hoosier-holics from all over. By becoming a Patreon subscriber, you're not only helping the fight for conservative values, you're helping us get more content and information out through the Hooser Media Network. Find out more information online at HooserReason.com. Lastly, follow and support all of our partners with the show. The Voice of Reason has been growing more and more every year, and it's because of so many great partners helping us get the message out to you. From show partners to local radio affiliates in your area to streaming sites, podcasting sites, and more, we have so many supporters and listeners now than ever before, and we want to thank you. It's time to bring back common sense, and we do it right here every day with the Voice of Reason.
America's safe space for common sense. This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hooser.
Yeah, common sense, reason, rationale. It's what we do on the program each and every day. Great to have you back as usual. Again, if you want to find information about the show, go to HooserReason.com. I do want to tell you about my friends over at Americans for Prosperity. We are getting ready for the 250th birthday of the nation. We have policy we're working on in Washington, D.C., and they want to educate you on all of it to get you ready for the midterm elections and to let you know what we need to fight for and hold our elected officials accountable for and put pressure on them to change. One of those is the healthcare industry. As you know, we're ending subsidies for Obamacare. I take that back. We're ending subsidies that happened during COVID for Obamacare. Obamacare is still in place as of right now. Republicans are working on some alternatives on what we can do, and those alternatives need to include private options. I want you to go to the website personaloption.com. Personaloption.com. It's a way that we can start learning about the options that are available for us, get away from the government health care, and advocate for Congress to start working on more private options for us and being able to get rid of Obamacare, the disastrous government health care that we need to move away from. Again, personaloption.com, personaloption.com. Right now, we're hanging out with Jay Young. He's with the King Operating Corporation. You can find out down in Texas as we look at the oil and gas industry. Jay, let's go broader. Let's look at the global markets right now and the battle with Russia, the battle with China, the OPEC. Right now, Russia especially, they've pretty much relied on their energy and oil markets to fund their nation and keep them going while we have sanctions on them around the world, isolating them against the rest of the world because of their conflict with Ukraine. And they've primarily been able to do that by selling oil to OPEC. Are you optimistic that we could actually see more U.S. oil being purchased by OPEC and them limiting their purchasing from Russia, which has been, I think, Trump's end goal is a way to try and end this ongoing conflict?
Yeah, that's a good question. And what Trump wants to do is just make everybody happy around the world, but he also doesn't want people to take advantage of other people. But right now we're producing about 13 million barrels a day. We need about 20 in the United States. And we're exporting some oil because it's not the right kind of oil for us to refine here in the United States. So we send that overseas and then get it back, so it's not like but we don't have the refinery capacity here. So we are. So therefore, all these different countries, every day, they're looking for market share. And they're looking to sell their oil on the market. And if it's like one time, right before COVID, we had a tremendous supply on the market because we had OPEC put a lot of oil on the market. They put all their oil, Iran, Iraq, these different countries put all their oil on the markets because they wanted to get market share from the United States, which is very, very, very important to them.
Sure.
Because prices were up pretty high. And then all of a sudden, COVID happened, and all of a sudden the demand for oil went to zero. Nobody was flying, nobody's driving, nobody's doing anything, and all of a sudden the demand went way down. And when that demand went way down, we were oversupplied. We had a tremendous amount of prices went to almost zero. So, wow. And they did go zero. Matter of fact, they went negative for a couple of months or so, and then it went back the other direction, swung the other direction. So what you're seeing right now is you're seeing a lot of people that are very cautious, and Trump's, wading in some very scary waters because it's not like you can just all of a sudden turn a switch and Venezuela or any country for that matter can just start producing more oil. It takes a tremendous amount of infrastructure.
Sure.
It takes rigs, it takes people, it takes financial resources.
Yeah.
It takes financial resources of people that say, hey, you know what? I'm going to be drilling for oil in Venezuela, and when at the end of the month, how much oil we produce, I'm going to get a check back. Because a lot of companies, Exxon, for one, has said, it was kind of funny because a couple of days ago, Exxon said, well, we have to make sure it's investable.
Sure.
They've already lost billions, tens of billions twice, where they nationalize the government and take over all oil, and they take over all the oil companies saying, don't send that to Exxon, send that check to me as a country. They've done that a couple of times.
That's
and
wild.
these companies have said, hey, we're out. And so Exxon said this the other day. It's kind of funny. This tells you what kind of guy Trump is, because Exxon said, well, we got to make sure that we like it and we're getting our money back. And what he's saying is, he doesn't believe Trump can deliver on the money. And so Trump just said, oh, okay, Exxon, Darren Woods, CEO. Well, that's okay. You don't have to go. We're okay without you.
We got somebody else.
Well, wait a minute.
That's hilarious.
We didn't want to be there.
Yeah,
they
Jay,
know how much money you can make.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Well, you know what? Trump knows what he's doing, and they got to trust him and see. Jay, we're out of time. I could talk to you about this forever, my friend. Happy New Year. We got to get you back on and do it again real soon.
Sounds great.
Hey,
appreciate it, Andy. Take care. Talk
you
to
bet.
You soon.
Yeah, you betcha. Jay Young, we'll be back tomorrow for a Wednesday. Hey, it's Andy Hooser. You know, when I get off the air every day, the battle for me against limited government, censorship, and even unfactual content is far from over. That's why now I'm so happy to say that the Hooser Media Network is giving you more opportunity to catch the voice of reason along with other great shows and podcasts. It's been a long time in the works, and now you can finally enjoy more great content, services, and topical shows. We're the safe space for alternative talk, information, and ideas that the mainstream media absolutely hates. From holistic and alternative medicine, discussions on religion and spirituality, pure entertainment shows, and of course yours truly with the voice of reason. Plus, we offer numerous media services, including helping you set up your own podcast. Become your own voice of reason and bring your expertise to any fun issue or topic. For information on all of our shows, links to podcasts, each show website or social media link, or to find out about everything we do to challenge the mainstream establishment, visit our website at HooserMedia.com. Again, that's HooserMedia.com, the future of media.